Hey everybody, we're out here getting our walk on today.
Yeah, beautiful day. So we thought we'd share some of our experiences we had while we were in Bowling Green, Kentucky.
Welcome to our epic field trip. We lived the typical American dream, advancing through the school of life and learning lessons along the way. Then we met some folks who were doing life another way, living and traveling in their RVs.
So we decided to go on our own epic field trip to see what we could experience and learn in wide open spaces.
Come along with us.
We were in Bowling Green, Kentucky in the middle of September, and even though it was not on our list of places to go, we were able to find some cool things to do.
Yeah, I'd say we start with the Lost River Cave.
Yeah, that was so cool.
Oh, it was.
What was your favorite thing about it?
Okay, I liked it all, but be honest with you. The walk down to the beginning entrance of the cave was absolutely beautiful. And they got a lot of stuff to do there too, other than just the cave tour.
Yeah, I agree with you. That walk down, you kind of walk down into a little valley and then along the river to where the river goes down into the cave. And
Yeah.
that's where we joined our tour guide. And the tour guide takes you into the boat and into the cave, and you get a chance to experience what it's like to be on a river inside a cave. And so that's pretty unique. I don't think you get to do that every day.
No, tour guide was great. You get in the boat, and believe it or not, it was kind of scary. You get in there and you got to go by this really short area, and you got to duck down, and it's kind of scary. But once you get out into the open cave, it was amazing.
Yeah, really cool. They have it lit up, and the tour guide's telling you stories about legends and history all along the way. So it's really pretty cool. And like Scott said, there's other things to do while you're there. There are a couple of zip line courses. There's a butterfly garden, outdoor classroom, and junior ranger program. All kinds of cool stuff. You could really make a day out of it.
It was fun. We only did the tour, but I tell you, even I really liked the gift shop.
Yeah, sure. You
Had a
can
lot
get
of
some
good
swag.
stuff. Yeah, get some
Absolutely.
swag. People in there were very nice. I don't think it was very expensive.
No, super nice. We came in a little bit late in the day, and the young man working behind the counter was able to get us in on the last tour, the boat cave tour, so we were happy with that.
Yeah.
So then, one thing that really surprised us, we had no idea was in Bowling Green, was the Aviation Heritage Park. You know,
Oh yeah.
that was right outside the campground, and we drove by it a few times because there's these planes that are arranged in a circle in a static display, and it really piqued our interest because we are U.S. Air Force brats, so to speak.
Yes.
Growing up in the Air Force, you know, we were around planes all our lives, and really gave us affection and appreciation for any kind of airplane or aviation display. I've worked in the aviation industry at various times in my life, so something near and dear to our heart. We stopped and checked it out, and man, we were not sorry.
No, I really loved the place. Was very well kept. I loved all the planes. There was one helicopter there. I liked it. I read all the story about all the pilots.
Yep.
That was amazing. And it was had benches if you wanted to sit down and just capture the moment. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
So what it ended up being all about, Scott talked about the stories of the pilots. A group of citizens there in the Bowling Green area wanted to establish this park as a way to recognize and appreciate the accomplishments of aviators who were from or had lived a substantial amount of time in that south central Kentucky area, primarily around Bowling Green.
Yep.
So they really took great pains to provide a nice story on each of these aviators that was on a very nicely produced storyboard in front of the plane that was relevant to their aviation experience.
Yeah.
The planes were all beautifully restored too.
Mm-hmm.
They did a fantastic job.
They really did. I loved it.
Yep. And finally, we went to the National Corvette Museum, right? We could not go there because why?
I love Corvettes. Always love Corvettes.
Yep. So that's really what Bowling Green is most known for.
Okay, start off with the diner. Okay, the diner was cool. I really liked the diner. It was retro, playing retro music.
Very 50s like.
Very 50s. The people behind the counter were awesome. Dressed 50s. It was great. Had a good time. Get a good milkshake. Order of fries and a burger. Yeah, it was good.
And then we went, so you can tell how we started at the
Yes.
museum. So anyway,
Diner.
and that was our breakfast. That was like, we were intended to get there for breakfast, but we got there late.
Yeah.
So anyway, we we then went into the museum proper, and we started in with the tour of the exhibits. And I will just say the two things that I was really impressed with was, of course, they have every model year of Corvette, and they had them laid out in chronological order and in groupings, and each grouping was set in an exhibit that matched all of the exhibit surroundings matched the time and time period for when that model year was released.
Yeah.
So you had, you know, the 50s and the 60s and the 70s, and they had the right music playing for during those times. So it really kind of puts you in that atmosphere of when those cars were driving around. And the second thing that I was impressed with was how they turned the disaster of the sinkhole into an absolutely fantastic feature of the Corvette Museum. So you may or may not have heard about the big sinkhole, but there's a lot of YouTube videos out there because their security cameras caught it in action. So I'll try to put a link to that, to one of those at least, in the description below. But they took that disaster and really built on it, and it's a great model of being resilient in hard times because they've built a complete exhibit around the science behind how the sinkhole happened, why it's prevalent in that area, and then they brought the cars back up and they're all just sitting there with the dirt on them and rebuilt that central area. So super impressive about recovering from a disaster.
Yes, it was. And I once again, I like the way it was laid out. Again, and I'll be honest with you, every display answered every question you could ever have.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
I mean, right, broken down with the engines cut in half so you could see the inner workings, anything like that. They even had 2019 ZR1s out front, ready to be delivered to the customer. Customer comes and picks it up at the museum. It's amazing.
Yeah, that's really cool. The Corvette Museum is definitely worth going to. You can get through the core exhibit in a couple hours, but you may want to spend all day because they've also got Corvette rides and a go-kart track and, you know, a simulator, and like we said earlier, there's a restaurant on site, so if you get hungry, you can eat right there.
Yeah, it was raining that day, so we didn't get to do the go-karts or anything else like that. So, but all in all, definitely worth it.
Yeah, we had a good time in Bowling Green. We will definitely stop there if we're ever going past that region again, because there's a few more things we'd like to do. If you'd like to read more about it and see what else we'd like to do, take a look at our blog post on our website.
Yeah.
Until next time, we'll see ya.
Have a good one.
And maybe in our world here, there lives a happy little mountain.